Let's take a moment to look at the environmental impact of the US-Iran conflict. Early modeling suggests that within the first 2 weeks, the conflict already generated 5 million tons of CO2 equivalent. These are rapid estimates, of course, built from satellite observations, infrastructure damage assessment, and standard emission factors. But they give a very strong sense of scale and an idea on what those numbers look like 6 weeks into the conflict. And what immediately stands out is where these emissions are coming from. A large amount of it is tied to infrastructure destruction. When buildings collapse, when industrial sites are hit, and when energy facilities burn, they release what is known as embedded carbon. Emissions that have been locked inside those structures for years through materials like cement and steel and the energy used to produce them. But it goes beyond that, because when destruction happens, reconstruction becomes inevitable. And rebuilding, whether it's road, housing, or even energy facility, is deeply carbon intensive. Cement alone accounts for roughly 8% of global CO2 emissions, which means that the environmental impact of the conflict extends forward far beyond active periods of fighting. The conflict is also interacting with the energy system in a real way. The region sits at the center of global oil supply, so any disruption, whether to transportation routes or infrastructure, fits directly into the global market. And what follows is an upward pressure on oil price and even stronger focus on energy security. In practical terms, it reinforces the use of fossil fuel across multiple economies, shaping emission trajectories far beyond the regions of conflict. There's also a structural issue in how all of this is captured. Military-related emissions are only partially reflected in climate reporting frameworks. While we are measuring emission progress in other sectors, a significant source of this emission remains only partially visible. This gap affects how we understand overall climate performance.